Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Asikin binti LATIB. In this video, our group will explain about our project report for this subject that had been given the title From Waste to Wealth Biodiesel Production.
Hi, my name is ILHAM NORAEDE, matrix number B0920103883. So, let me talk about the introduction for the biodiesel production. So, our group task is for the methanol 991, catalyst for 357 for 90 minutes. Last objective of the project is the environmental sustainability. One of the key objectives is to produce biodiesel that has a lower carbon footprint compared to conventional diesel fuels. The project focus on optimizing the production process to minimize the greenhouse gas emissions, water usage, and other environmental impacts associated with biodiesel production. Next is the scope of the project. The scope of the project is to identify and utilize waste materials, and next to develop efficient and cost-effective conversion methods, and last to evaluate the economic feasibility of biodiesel production considering raw material allocation, conversion efficiency, and market demand.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NURUL IZANI AFIFA binti AHMAD and my matric number is B0920100073. I will present about flowchart of biodiesel production. The first step in biodiesel production is the collection of waste cooking oil. This oil is often discarded after use in restaurant and home. Instead of letting it go to waste, we can repurpose it to create biodiesel, minimizing environmental pollution and waste. Once we have gathered the waste cooking oil, we move on to the transesterification process. This process involves the mixing of waste cooking oil with two main ingredients, which is potassium hydroxide and methanol. The mixture undergoes a chemical reaction known as transesterification. During this process, the waste cooking oil molecules are broken down into two components, which is glycerol and fatty acid methyl ester, or we know as biodiesel. This conversion process allows us to transform waste cooking oil into sustainable fuel source. After that, we proceed to the washing stage. The purpose of this step is to remove impurities and any excess reactant from the biodiesel. We achieve this by washing the biodiesel with water, which aid in separating the impurities and leaving us with a cleaner product. Next, the biodiesel still retains some water content. To ensure its quality and suitability for use, we need to dry it thoroughly by heated and left to evaporate. Proper drying ensures the biodiesel is ready for efficient combustion in diesel engine. And finally, the biodiesel is produced. To summarize, the process of biodiesel production from cooking oil involves collecting the oil, performing transesterification to convert it into biodiesel, washing to remove impurities, and drying to eliminate water content. Next, let's talk about the thing we need to get ready before we start making biodiesel. This material and chemical are important for the process to work properly. For material, 250 ml conical flask. This special flask is used to mix the waste cooking oil, alcohol, and catalyst together. Beaker. These are like white cup with flat bottom that help us stir and mix the ingredient well. Weighting scale. We need this scale to measure the right amount of waste cooking oil, methanol, and potassium hydroxide. thermometer. These two help us to keep track of the temperature during the process. Aluminium foil. We can cover the flask or beaker with aluminium foil to keep the temperature steady. Hot plate stirrer. This machine heats up and stirs the ingredients together so they mix properly. Stirring bar. We put this bar in the flask or beaker to help mix the ingredient when the hot plate stirrer is on. Next, separating funnel. This special container helps us separate the biodiesel from any leftover impurities or chemical. And last material is filter funnel and filter paper. We use this to strain and remove any small particle or impurities from biodiesel. And for chemical, waste cooking oil. This is the oil we get from cooking food and we don't need anymore. Second, methanol. Methanol is special alcohol we use to help make biodiesel from the waste cooking oil. And lastly, potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide, also called coke, is chemical that help the waste cooking oil turn into biodiesel. Before we start making biodiesel, we need to gather and prepare this simple material and chemical. By using them correctly, we can create biodiesel that is better for environment.
Now I will explain about the biodiesel production procedure. Okay, first of all, we start by collecting waste cooking oil, especially the used one from the household. Then we do the pre-treatment process on the waste cooking oil to remove any impurities, water and contaminants that may affect it in the transesterification process later. And the process had been done using hot plate. And during the process, the temperature of the waste cooking oil had been fixed at 110 degrees for 10 minutes. And while waiting for the pre-treatment process, we had prepared the catalyst for the experiment, which is potassium hydroxide and methanol. And to prepare the catalyst, the solid of potassium hydroxide was measured firstly before crushing it using mortar to avoid any waste. And next, we begin the transesterification process by mixing the raw materials, which is potassium hydroxide and methanol, into the waste cooking oil. And then the mixture was heated up on the hot plate and stirred using magnetic stirring tool at around 60 to 70 degrees Celsius for at least 90 minutes. Next, the separation process begins after the waste cooking oil's transesterification process is complete. The mixture was then put into the separating funnel and had been left undergo the separation process for 24 hours to make sure the biodiesel is completely separated from fatty acid and glycerol. And after that, the biodiesel was taken from the separating funnel and then undergoes filtration process to ensure that they do not have any excess glycerol on it. And lastly, we begin the washing process. It is to remove any remaining impurities and the catalyst and alcohol. And the filtered and separated biodiesel from before was being put into the separating once again. And then boiled water was put into the separating funnel containing the biodiesel, and the water will mix with biodiesel and agitated to remove the impurities.
Okay, next is graphic yield versus parameter involved. The graph shows the yield percentage of biodiesel versus temperature during transesterification process from 30 degrees Celsius to 70 degrees Celsius. So from the graph, you can see the yield of biodiesel increase as the temperature increased till 50 degrees Celsius, which is the optimal point, and it gives the yield is 66%. So at 70 degrees Celsius, the biodiesel yield was decreased to 74%. This is because after exceed 70 degrees Celsius, methanol will reach its boiling point, which will hinder the reaction of oil, methanol, and potassium hydroxide that will affect the result. As our project run, we also had made mistake, which is we burn it until exceed the 70 degrees Celsius, which make the result considered as failure.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad AZRUL HAKIM bin AHMAD. So I will be explain about the important findings observed during the production process and potential limitation of flow. So firstly, feedstock selection. Waste cooking oil has become a popular choice as a feedstock for biodiesel productions. So by utilizing waste cooking oil, we can contribute to a greener and more sustainable future. Next, catalyst selection. So commonly used catalyst in biodiesel production from waste cooking oil is potassium hydroxide, KOH. It has a faster reaction rate, allowing for shorter processing times and increased efficiency. And lastly, optimization of product parameters. So we are focused on our parameters such as the molar ratio of methanol to oil 9:1, catalyst concentration of 3% and 5%, and a reaction time of 90 minutes. So next, for the potential limitation of flow. So for the first point, measurement errors. Measurement errors and unclear procedures can affect validity. So comprehensive details and error-reducing measures are crucial for effective outcomes. Next, insufficient and inconsistent monitoring and recording of temperature. Continuous temperature monitoring is essential to promptly address potential problems. It ensures reliable and valid experimental results and effective troubleshooting of temperature-related issues. And lastly, reaction time. The impact of reaction time on biodiesel production is a potential limitation. These restrictions could be the result of insufficient response time, standardization of control, inaccurate measurement or recording, or a lack of data collecting. So that's all from me. Thank you.
So lastly is any foreseen throughout the experiment. So first of all, contaminants and impurities in the oil. Waste cooking oil may contain unexpected contaminants such as residual food particle or non-traditional cooking oil. This kind of impurity may obstruct the transesterification reaction and lower biodiesel yield and quality. So next is reaction optimization. For example, reaction temperature, catalyst concentration, and alcohol to oil ratio is necessary to achieve the desired conversion efficiency and biodiesel quality. As both of our experiment run was failed, we probably made some error, such as doing the wrong calculation on catalyst, not weighing the material accurately, or heating the mixture over optimal temperature that make our both experiment run considered as failed.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is DANISH bin NAZRUL. And now we move to the conclusion. In conclusion, the production of biodiesel failed and does not meet the objective of the project. The objective of the project is to create efficient and cost-effective way to convert waste cooking oil into high-quality biodiesel. This failure can occur due to the various factors such as lack of skill in using laboratory equipment, misstep of the procedure, calculation error, and regulatory barriers. Even though the waste utilization experiment may have failed in achieving its intended goals, it generated valuable knowledge, insight, and practical application. So the highlight of the positive income: first, resource recovery. Waste utilization experiment can lead to the recovery of valuable resources from waste material, such as the waste cooking oil we convert it to biodiesel. Second, provided valuable data. We are able to understand the characteristic and the behavior of the catalyst that influence the biodiesel production. Lastly, laboratory setup. This experiment helps to gain more knowledge in handling the equipment in a proper way, since different equipment have a different procedure to handle. I think that's all from us. Thank you.